Okay, so I just want to make sure
I'm
because
familiar with the name.
you're familiar with the name Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay, cool.
I'm sure I know there's
Chris, what about you?
Okay, so man, this is a close one.
Here we go.
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay.
I always like your opinions, Chris. Let's hear it.
Thank you. I tell you, man, I feel a little mixed on this one.
Oh, a little mixed on it. Okay.
And I'm in visitors' terms, so I don't want to offend somebody who said the greatest band ever is Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I say the greatest band is Earth, Wind, and Fire.
All right, so let me all right. So when I listen to a song, I gotta feel it. It makes me kind of move, or it doesn't. It's just like that. I was bobbing my head at the beginning, and I think it was an interesting rendition. The vocals were there. It took me back. I was like riding around in a Lincoln Town car with a big body, trunk. I could just feel the old school vibes.
Okay.
However, when I turned it on, I let my children listen to it, teenagers, and they were like,
your children, they were sipping tea. They were sipping tea.
They influenced me, and I can't light it up all the way on this one.
Okay,
and yet
so
I can't sip the tea all the way on this one.
So you can't do both.
I would have to be, if I had to.
If you
I
had
would say
to, you
it's
straddling the
60-40.
line.
I would 60-40 light it up. 60-40.
Okay,
there you go.
So
So
what?
that 60 what though? 60 tea or 60 lighting it up?
60 lighting it up.
He's 60 lighting it up.
tea.
So can I do a half a? You hear
Yeah.
half a light.
Just like half
it's not really lit, but you hear a little flick. So it's like the light won't come up, but hear the flick. Yeah. So okay.
Respect to the remix. Respect to the legacy. Just I feel when Missy was saying it seemed like a cover band. I got that too.
I guess my question is, what did you not like about it?
Dun, 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 dun. I felt like I was like visiting my uncle or something, and he had it on. Come here, young folk, let me show you what's good. Like I felt
Like too old.
Let me show you what's good.
It's old school for sure.
Okay, so that's what it was for you. I guess for me, the reason why I can't be swayed, I still light it up, is because that's the style of what they do, right?
Yes.
They still have legions of fans. When they were on when they did the verses with the Isley Brothers, that was just like big. It was huge. And I think it's because they are such an iconic band like the Isley Brothers. But I can kind of see what the kids are, man. They don't grow up listening to live instrumentation, man.
Right.
They don't listen to like people really getting up playing the guitar. They listen to like computerized music.
That's right.
So it's not really their cup of tea, I guess. And I'm not knocking the younger generation. That's just what they grew up on, right?
Sure, you're right.
But for me, I thought it just sounded good. It would still stay true to who they are.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
so we have like a 2.5. Wait, Missy, you lit it up or what?
I will light it up solely for the fact that they're still putting out music.
This is like a sympathy
did
light
not
up.
know.
This is like a sympathy light up. It's like your grandfather didn't light up.
Yes.
Solely
that's
for
right.
that fact. And then you want to know what? I mean, the fact that they still have, tons of fans around the world and that they're still making music, I think that's awesome of them. That's pretty cool. And they're sticking to their what they are good at. Like, if they were to try something new and then it just was a total flop, see, that's where it would be bad. But that's not what they're doing.
That's where it would be bad. I got you. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's very fair that, you're gonna sip tea to that, and you got some good points.
I lit it up.
I know, but you still wanted to sip a little tea on there. The older generation right now, they're gonna be beating you guys down because when they hear it, they're gonna be like, "Wow, a new song! I like the rhythm. I like the beat. I like the replay of the sample that they redid. I mean,
You can almost smell the Old Spice.
you can almost smell the Old Spice. Wow.
I'm
Okay.
gonna show this to my parents and be like, listen to this cool new song.
Oh my goodness.
And act like I'm all cool.
Okay, well, speaking of cool, we got some trending topics. Missy, what do we want to get into first? You choose.
Yes. So have you guys heard about these controversial skateboards Tony Hawk is selling? Have you guys heard about it?
Yes, absolutely.
I have not heard about it. Let me know. What's good? What's good?
Okay, so he is selling skateboards that have been painted with his blood, and they sold overnight. You guys, isn't that wild. So the thing that's also, so not just the fact that it's with his own blood that's controversial, but something else is that Lil Nas X did something very similar a couple months ago with the sneakers, and everyone like was a hater on it, and this Tony Hawk skateboard sells out overnight and nobody's making a big deal about it.
Well, I think the it's not a big deal. Well, it's a big deal, right? But the difference between Tony Hawk and Lil Nas X was that he was using the devil to promote the shoe, and like the 666, and this is a devil type, you know, true. Sponsorship or whatever. So much that Nike came through and they were like, shut it down. You know, you cannot reproduce this product, and people were mad. Well, you know, Nike lets people like like Gucci, places like that, rebrand their shoes, but Nike's like they can choose who they want to do whatever with their product, and if they feel like the devil worship is not what we want to align with our product, then they have the right to do that. Mm-hmm. So with Tony Hawk, I think he's seen what Lil Nas X did, but he didn't put the spin of the, you know, the Satan devil thing on it. And that's why people were like, oh, I got a little piece of his blood in it, which is still gross to me. But
Tony Hawk was in collaboration with a water company called Liquid Death. So, I mean, that still has a little bit of controversial. I mean, it's a water company, but it's called Liquid Death.
I never heard of it, but it sounds people will do anything to get on.
Yeah, anything. No, I think it's strange. I think it's very macabre.
Macabre, I like that. Yeah. Macabre.
It's a cult in nature.
It is strange.
I think the difference between Lil Nas X, Missy, and Tony Hawk is Lil Nas X tried to do a bootleg. Let's just be 100% clear.
Okay.
He went around the back door to try to do this, and he was like, hey, Nike, look what I did, right? Boom. Where Tony Hawk, he actually made the deals ahead of time. Now, I saw the video where Tony Hawk was getting his blood drawn, and they injected it into the red paint. And I'm sitting there scratching my head. I'm thinking to myself, why would a man do this? Like, why? Just why would you need to put your face on it? You got so many other options, and it's interesting because he's like, yeah, I sold my soul. Don't make any clones. And I'm thinking, Tony, that's crazy, bro.
That is a little crazy.
You don't need to do this. Like, you've already got success. You're doing just fine. You're a fantastic athlete.
Go ahead, Missy. Go ahead.
So they're saying that it's like a metaphor of like athletes saying that they're used to putting their blood, sweat, and tears into their sport. So they're trying to bring that into like the real world.
Okay,
by taking his blood, and they did sterilize it beforehand, so it's not, you know, uncontaminated or anything. But I completely agree.
You see Chris's face?
Like, why are you doing that?
Chris's face is like, huh?
What's the point?
No, I agree with you guys as well. What is the point?
It's kind of creepy.
It's creepy, and it's like, what would you do for clout? Anything for clout.
Yeah, man.
You're Tony Hawk. Do you really have to do that?
You don't.
Now, I'm not trying to judge what you're doing. I'm just saying that for me and your success, it doesn't make sense that you would have to go to a lane that's not really part of, you know, your product just to sell. But you never know,
I guess some of it's going to donations. But let me ask you something. What do you guys think about the people who wear their spouse's or partner's blood around their neck?
I looked at you like, huh?
That's a new
you got
one
your
for
girl's
me.
blood around your neck?
That's a new one for me. I
have never heard of that before.
They put the partner's blood in a vial and like as a necklace, and then they switch it, and then they wear each other.
I've heard of that, but why?
I mean, I guess if you needed
to
identify somebody, I mean, that sounds like a setup to me. I'm just a little bit conspiracy-minded.
It sounds like a crime scene. Your blood was at the scene of the crime.
Exactly.
What you doing with your blood? Oh, it's my necklace.
Oh, yeah.
My necklace fell off.
Tony Hawk's gonna be everywhere. You know, that scraping pieces of his DNA off. No, I'm not with that. Nobody's getting my blood like that. No.
Nobody's getting. No. But come on, what's going on in the world?
It's crazy, man. People are losing it a little bit in 2021. I don't know if it's the new COVID nonsense. I don't know if it's the new president. I don't know if it's Gavin.
You don't know.
People have been doing this for decades, you guys.
Okay, so Chris started talking. Chris gave a whole host of reasons politically. It sounds like he's leaning to the right a lot, right? We'll probably talk about that off air, and we'll see. Because I don't know if we want to get political on that. We maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But at the end, but I tell you this, Chris. Little Nas X, he would have put the blood in the shoes no matter who the president was.
That's true.
It ain't got nothing to do with Gavin.
Well, he likes to be controversial. Lil Nas
Yes,
likes to be
I guess that's my point. Like, people will do whatever they want to do, despite whoever's in charge. I'm gonna be me regardless.
I think Obama would be disappointed in Lil Nas X. I think he would.
I think a lot of people are disappointed.
You need to settle your little butt down.
I would say most people in the black community they look at it as like a gimmick, and he gets a lot of flack because they're like, "Come on, bro."
You listen to Lil Nas X? You got him on your playlist?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I listen to his music. I do.
I don't listen.
I'll stop and listen to it.
Okay.
I won't not stop and listen to it. And to me, it's not about. No, it is about. I think it's about the way that he's trying to put his music out there for people to listen to.
Sure.
I just can't be a fan of the gimmicks, right? I'm not saying he's not talented in what he does.
Right.
I just think the gimmicks of what he does. Like, for example, R. Kelly. Missy will not listen to R. Kelly.
Oh wow.
She's not gonna listen to R. Kelly, not because of how good his music is.
Okay.
She won't listen to R. Kelly because of the stigma behind the name of R. Kelly.
That's deep.
You see what I'm saying?
That's deep.
Now, me, I will not listen to Lil Nas X from the stigma behind Lil Nas X, right? But I will play R. Kelly. So I'm a little bit of a hypocrite.
You can't compare Lil Nas X and R. Kelly though, because one's like in court and has been alleged to do multiple illegal things, and the other one's just controversial and does gimmicks. So that's not the exact same thing.
Yeah, but your soul is in play as well, and I think your soul is actually worth more than you going to jail for committing a crime. Your soul is eternal, in my point of view.
Agreed.
So I don't want people to be leading down a path.
Those crimes are horrendous.
Those
crimes are like
the alleged
undefendable.
The alleged crimes.
Are you paying attention to the court and the stuff that's going on right now? Every single day there's something coming out about R. Kelly that's awful. I made sure not to put him on the trending list because
of course
I know I was going to get heated. I have to say, I didn't bring up R. Kelly. You did.
Oh, it's fine. I can bring up R. Kelly. First of all, you're going to hear a lot of stuff about R. Kelly because the prosecution, it's their turn.
Yes.
Then you're going to hear stuff about R. Kelly because it's going to be the defense's turn.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, you're going to hear the prosecution. You're up first. So you're going to hear all the bad things, whatever. The things I heard yesterday about Kelly were just like, he's a bad person. He did this. Tour managers was mad about this. I didn't hear crimes yesterday. They were building his character yesterday.
But let me ask you.
Did you hear the story from yesterday?
Which one?
But that's what I'm saying. Every day it's something new that the prosecution is using. Yesterday's tagline was about who he was as a person, building up what he done. There weren't crimes yesterday. The day prior to it was when I think the Jane Doe was on the stand and she was talking about the crimes. But yesterday was about some of the things that he did as a person.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you guys.
Those are bad.
Let me ask you guys.
Go ahead,
but when R. Kelly was dating Aaliyah, all the way back when, she was 15 years old.
Yeah.
Did you still listen to his music?
Yes, I listened. I listened to. First of all, in my opinion, R. Kelly is, as far as R&B, he's one of the greatest R&B talents of all time.
You believe you could fly?
So
I believe I can.
I believe I can. I mean, so many songs. I went to his concert. He's very talented. The question is not about the talent. That's not in question.
No, that's not.
We're having two different conversations. The question is about who he is as a person and the things he's done, which I don't think anybody insane would condone anything that he's done if it is true. But his music and the talent of his music, I will listen to his music.
Makes sense.
Absolutely. There's people who've been married to his music. That's their song as their relationship. They're not going to not listen to the song because of what he did.
But I get why Missy doesn't listen to him, and I actually respect that. I mean, honestly, if you don't, if somebody who is just a terrible human being,
right?
Does all these horrible.
It sounds disgusting. The stuff that they're talking about, and it's like
it's terrible. Just terrible.
I mean, I looked up to R. Kelly like, man, I love your music. I mean, you really did these things. Like, why? It's just crazy.
Power corrupts.
But there's a lot of people that we listen to today that have been accused or have done really bad things. Like, people still listen to Chris Brown.
That's true.
He was abusive. Are you going to stop listening to Chris Brown?
I don't listen to, and I haven't listened to Chris Brown.
So what you're saying, Missy, is that the artists that you listen to, they don't have a history of anything bad that they've done. You only listen to artists that don't have a controversial past.
Ooh, shots fired.
That's who you're listening to.
Controversial is not the same thing as illegal acts and like being accused and being like,
anything illegal is where you draw the line, you're saying.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's been other things.
Chris is like, Missy, you gotta see Chris. Chris is like, well, what you mean? You guess.
I don't know, because I mean, there might be something that somebody hasn't gotten prosecuted with.
Oh, that's true.
And I'm like, well,
that you just didn't know.
I still don't like them.
Yeah. I mean, I still eat Jell-O jigglers, and just because Bill Cosby messed up, I don't hate on Jell-O for that. So I can understand where you're coming from. It's the end product that you're looking at, and I definitely understand why she would boycott some of these.
Yeah, I mean, I understand all sides. So. Like, I understand, especially as a woman, for anything that it's claimed that what he did is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't know we were going to get on this topic, but it is what it is.
Yes. And maybe that's why I have such a strong opinion on it, because I'm looking at it as a woman's perspective.
That's true. I respect it.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. We appreciate the women's perspective.
But
yeah,
that was a good topic.
That was a good topic. So we're going to actually get into a new song by Nyah Grace, and we need some grace right now. We need some grace. So we're going to sip tea or light it up. Let us know what you think.
And then when this girl started singing, I'm like, what? This is a girl singing this song called Video Games?
Yeah, okay.
So I will definitely light it up for her. I loved her angelic voice. I thought it was so pretty. And she killed it with the song. So I'm lighting it up for my girl, Sun.
So you lighting it up for Sun Video Games.
That's right.
Sun Video Games gets a major light. I'm gonna throw it to Chris right now in the corner, because when we were listening to the song, Chris actually seen the video. What I typically don't do is watch the videos. I have no idea what they're talking about, what they're doing, and Chris had a lot to say. I don't know if it's going to have anything to do with sipping tea or lighting it up, but go ahead, Chris. I'm gonna let you handle that.
No, I definitely can agree with Missy, and her voice was very angelic. I mean, she's a very talented singer, very talented, beautiful tone, beautiful voice. I think the melody was soothing. Again, with the music videos. So my films, my TV series that I'm involved with, we try to make everything family friendly. So I'm biased. I'm very biased.
You said very biased. Okay.
So I watched.
At least you admit it.
Yeah. I watched the video with my family, and felt kind of awkward. It was the whole show.
See,
I'm gonna show you how you do
family.
it. Yeah, I watched. So that's the whole thing. So I think it was an overtly sexualized video. But the music, I could understand why you would light it up for sure.
Okay, but so what are you doing though? I mean, you're telling me that you with your family. What does that mean when you say that?
Stay out of that.
Go ahead, don't talk about it. No, we're not staying out of nothing. You got to talk about it.
I'm gonna jump in here then. On the song, I'll light it up. On the video, I gotta sip tea. So I don't know who put that video together, but
So wait. Yeah. So on the song,
I'm lighting it up for the song.
So it goes into rotation. Chris got his light. Okay,
but the music video needed to be redone.
Wow.
All right, we need a
music video needs to be redone. I took a glance at the video. Now, I'm not going to bash the video.
Don't bash it.
I'm not going to bash it because, we do support the artist, but I think she was expressing her creative juices in the art of love.
Juices in the art of love.
Creative juices in the art of love. And so basically, Chris didn't appreciate the creative art of love video because he was with his family, and I get that.
Yes.
Time and place, right?
And place.
You were just blown away.
I was like, whoa.
So Chris did a little extra work. He didn't hear the song. He said, "I'm gonna check out, see if they got a video," and then he popped up on that. So So anyway, but listen.
You know what?
Go ahead, Missy.
That's why I don't watch music videos.
I don't watch them that much either. Good point.
I won't watch it. If there's a song that I really, really like, I refuse to watch the video because then I see the video and then I get the message of the video and I go, that's not what I thought this song was about at all.
That's a good point.
It puts a different taste in my mouth, so I can't watch them.
That's a really good point. I'm glad you said that. One thing about it is that with that video, it can throw you off. You might be like Chris, he was like, "Hey man, I don't know about this one," but he likes the song, right? So the video it can throw you off, but that's what she was going for. That's what she was doing. I like the song a lot, Son. I think it belongs in rotation. I'm lighting it up as well. I thought that she had a great voice. I think that the style that she's doing, it can last with today's music because it doesn't sound like she doesn't fit in. She fits in. Mm-hmm. She has a lane. Mm-hmm. I don't know if her music is going to be, in the art of love for most of it. Maybe she was just expressing that song, but I like it a lot. So, it goes into rotation. Now, unless it goes into rotation, but listen, guys, if you're listening right now, you have to, if you don't have the app, or you should have the app if you're listening, you light it up by hitting the like button on the songs, or go down and you sipping tea so we know what songs should stay in rotation, what songs just got to get out of here, right?
That's right.
So we got other topics and other reviews to get to, but Missy, who we got up next?
Well, I want to get into how Kanye West just wants to change his name to Ye. No last name, no middle name, just Ye.
Wow.
Our thoughts.
Wow. Chris said, wow. You want to take it, Chris? Missy?
I'll take it.
Chris want to go. Go ahead.
Let's go, Chris. Let's hear it. Because I feel like you got something to say.
Kanye changing his whole name to just Ye.
Mm-hmm. Just Ye.
You know I like to deep dive. So,
go ahead, sir.
I did some research on this, and man, what a mess! What an absolute mess!
What a mess! Oh my goodness!
So let me just start off with the word "yay." Right, the word "yay" in Chinese means light.
Okay.
Now I think Kanye's got a Jesus Christ complex. I think he feels like in some way he is above humanity. I think it's gone to his head, man. Kanye back with the Kardashians. I know how you feel, Missy. I'm not hating on the Kardashians, Missy.
No,
I'm
it's
not.
okay.
All right. So, but he's back with his wife. I think there's turmoil right there. I don't know if you guys saw their
I seen it.
Did you? He set himself on fire.
I seen it. I seen he was on fire. House. I seen the videos.
So Kim was there.
I think Ye needs an intervention.
He needs the intervention.
I think that's what's going on. I think he's going through what artists go through. Like Van Gogh cut his ear off. Kanye just burned down his childhood house. And he married the wife that he just divorced. So are you in the relationship? You're out of the relationship. I feel bad for Kanye, man. I really do.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Missy.
You could tell he's going through a lot. That's his everyday life for years and years and years, is people thinking he needs an intervention because of just the wild things that he does. So what you've been seeing for a couple days, I feel like has been his life for years. But yeah, he did bring out Kim to like remarry her on stage. I don't think it was real though. I think it was part of like the artistic act of his listening party. But I just want to say, for him to want to change his name to Ye, I'm just happy it's not him wanting to change his name to genius billionaire Christian Kanye West. Like he wanted to a couple years ago. Did you guys know that? He wanted to change his name to that?
Yep. I heard
what did he
about
want to change his name to? I didn't.
A couple years ago, it was like genius billionaire Christian.
Wow. Genius billionaire Christian.
Like,
and
Chris still hot about it.
His name, Ye.
Chris still hot about it. Go ahead, Chris.
So talented, right? He has got the world of just possibilities in front of him, and he could make a lot of change happen, a positive change happen, especially within the African American community. So I think that when you have that type of platform, you got a lot of youngsters who are looking up to you, and man, I feel like he's missed his opportunity to be Michael Jordan of the music industry, and this whole back and forth, I'm gonna change my name to billionaire this, and I'm Ye, and like, you're not Prince, man. Like I feel like I just need to just say that, like, wait a minute, bro. Like, time out. Like, I don't understand what the message is. I guess that's really the
okay.
The
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Like, why is he doing it?
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Okay. So first of all, the name Ye is the most commonly used word in the Bible. And in the Bible, Ye means you. The most commonly used Ye means you. I think the situation with Kanye that makes him so polarizing is that, for me, growing up in a Pentecostal church, right, I listened to a lot of music. My parents allowed me to listen to gospel, R&B, blues. I used to listen to country. I mean, I have a a range of a palette of what I used to listen to. And my parents allowed me to do that just so I can get raised how they were raised with the music. And one thing that I always had an issue with was with gospel music, as in rap music. I hated the beats.
Okay.
I hated the production. I mean, hate is a strong word, but I really disliked it. And when I would hear a Dr. Dre, the Chronic album, I'm like, man, if only they had a rap group that sounded like that to me, right? And I was listening to DC Talk, right? So I was big into the Christian rap world. You just listen to BBCC Winans. But I think Ye is so polarizing because he's the only artist right now with the capability to influence artists to get into a lane of gospel rap music. He has the capability because this whole issue, which is also a trending topic of him and Drake going back and forth, dropping on the first day. Imagine if he has a gospel record and Drake puts out his, I would say, what's a secular record, right?
Sure.
And he does bigger than Drake. That's big as far as the gospel record. It shows you that it can take it to another level. So some of the antics and the things that Kanye does, I'm like, he's doing it for attention. He wants your attention. But the message behind the music that he puts out, if it's intended in God's purposes, I think that's a major win, right? Sure. Everything is theater to him. Everything is fashion, theater.
It's theatrical.
So I don't take everything too personal of him expressing his art, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
No.
Sometimes I don't like it, and sometimes I do think it's really weird. Like him bringing Marilyn Manson and DaBaby out, like that was his message. I believe was like, okay, I've been canceled before, but I'm still here, and look at you guys just canceled these two, and let's see them come back, kind of thing.
Yeah. Marilyn Manson got in trouble for I think abuse or sexual contact, something like that as well. And then DaBaby, you know what he said about. People, transgender community,
the LGBT
community.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe that was the thing. Can you make a mistake in this world and be forgiven?
No, not in this world. Not in this world.
Not this world. No, not
Apparently
this world.
Not. It's gonna tag around. I mean, like you said, I'm not gonna get political, but my God, it seems like all you have to do is one thing wrong. 20 years ago, there should be a statute of limitations. I mean,
okay.
Look at Bill Cosby. Look at Cuomo down in New York, Governor Cuomo. I mean, you got people coming out the woodworks the second you show weakness. Second you show weakness, it's like blood in the water, and here comes the sharks.
Yeah.
And he touched me wrong. Oh, he grazed my elbow, and I didn't appreciate the way he touched my elbow like that. And
Missy over here rolling her eyes. You should have touched that elbow. No. You better back up off that elbow.
I'm sure he's a creep.
Don't touch my elbow.
Backed off of that elbow.
I'm sure he's a creep, man.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, man, I don't know. I think you got to take things sometimes with a grain of salt.
I feel you.
Yeah. I think it's wonderful that all these people are getting held responsible for the disgusting, horrible things that they've done in the past.
I think if it's true.
How old it was.
I think if it's true. If it's true, and the problem that we have in society is if you say something, is it fact or is it true? Or does it matter about the amount of people that say something, right? So, where do we draw the line?
See, I do have a problem with that. Obviously, if somebody accuses somebody and it's not true, like that obviously is a bad thing.
But we don't know. We don't know.
Right. We don't know. And how can you know?
But sometimes there's overwhelming evidence where it's like, yeah, that's true.
But I mean, okay, what's overwhelming evidence? Many people saying it, or actual proven evidence that I can physically, tangibly see and touch? What's evidence? Do we know what evidence is? Okay, so we don't know what evidence is. But check this out. But speaking of, we're going to get into... Yeah, Missy has a little technical difficulties, but we're going to get into a song, Nyah Grace. We needed that grace, and we're going to try to get her in here and get things going. So we'll be back soon, shortly. So that was Grace. Well, what have you been waiting for? We've been waiting to play that song, it feels like for like half an hour, So who wants to get into it first?
Well, I tell you, I'll take it. I mean, it was
okay.
It was definitely. I think it was lighting it up worthy. Let me just get my lighter out there real quick. I would say this was a really cool song, very chill. It allows you to just relax. Like, you could see yourself in the car cruising down PCH, windows down, sea breeze in your hair. I mean, that's what you want to play. You want to play that. So I'm gonna have to light it up for that one.
So you're gonna light it up for that.
It's lit.
It's lit. She's actually a young singer as well, and she has a lot of music, a lot of singles that she's having right now. Missy, what you thinking about it?
Obviously, I'm always gonna light it up for young gals doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. It was definitely a song that you just start dancing to, and you just kind of can't help it, right? You just can't help it swaying back and forth. Just ask Chris Jones. I mean, we saw him do it on the break.
Chris Clay Jones was doing his thing on the break, man. So
okay.
So I'm definitely lighting it up. What do you think? What do you got, Junior?
I'm lighting it up too. She's really good. I believe the song definitely has to be in rotation. It's not like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
No.
It's a little fresher.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little up to date. I feel happy about it, man, because she's been doing her thing for quite some time. She's a very young girl, and I would just love to hear people to hear her music and watch her flourish. She is such a great artist, I'm definitely in support of her for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to get new artists and kind of put them into the rotation. It's really cool.
I love doing that.
So obviously, if you were on board and you were like, what happened? Things happen in radio. Things happen all the time, but we're back, and it is what it is. So anything happens live on ESPN, it could be a fire burning.
That's right. Difficulties.
Technical difficulties, but we're back in the building. So what do we got, Missy? We still got some music reviews and trending topics. What do you want to do?
Let's get into a trending topic, something that is going around the media right now is Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. You guys know him from X-Men as Wolverine.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Hugh Jackman recently posted a picture of him and his mom, who he has been estranged with for years and years and years. So it's nice to see that they're back together, but the reason why they were estranged is because when he was an 8-year-old boy, his mother abandoned him and his family and went to a whole different country and then just abandoned her family. And so now
Hugh abandoned the family?
The mother abandoned Hugh as a little boy.
Wow. And they just reconnected?
And they just reconnected. Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, it's really nice. He says that he forgives his mom for the mistakes that she made in the past by abandoning her 8-year-old son and never.
8 years old abandoned? Wow. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
That's.
Yeah, and
that's
he said
tough.
when he was a little kid that he didn't realize his mom was never coming back. He waited for her for years. Oh. And then one day when he was like a 13 or 12-year-old boy, he finally understood that his mom was not coming back.
That's very sad, man.
Mm-hmm. It's devastating. What do you have to say, Chris? I see you over there.
Wow, that's heavy, man. Last time I was on the show, we talked about Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
His mama.
We did.
Right? And I think that it's a beautiful thing that Hugh is able to take a higher road and redeem that relationship with his mother.
You thought that was cool?
I think it. Let's just talk about human qualities for just a half second.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if we look at what is it about humanity that we admire, and I think it's the benevolence of each of us, the ability to show mercy, grace, forgiveness. To say whatever was done in the past, I'm not looking back there.
I like that.
I'm working to move forward. Let's build from here, and I just admire that. I think anytime you can forgive someone, you reach into a more righteous version of yourself,
I like
and
that
it's
too.
freeing. And you can it's almost like you're bringing a righteousness into the world that is needed. So him being, in that particular place. Listen, a mama, let me tell you, every boy loves their mama.
I know. That's why I said 8 years old. I mean, that's really tough.
8 years old.
That's really, really tough.
And your mom leaves you. First of all, I'm not
holding on to the idea she's coming back.
I know. Where's mom? Where's mom for so many years? I mean, he obviously has established himself as an actor. He's has done well financially. So for him to just get back with his mom, I think it shows that was probably the missing piece he needed in his life, and he just never held a grudge. Or maybe he did, and he just got therapy and he got over it.
I think it's very beautiful that he was able to look back as an adult, because he was a child when it happens, to look back as an adult and able to find compassion and empathy for somebody that did something really, really bad to you and traumatic to you. So I think that that's an amazing quality, that he can even do that. And, you know,
could you do that? If that happened to you, could you have that same forgiveness?
I try to have a lot of compassion and forgiveness. And to be honest, my dad has not been there for me. My biological dad was not there for me growing up. And my brothers and sisters are mad at him. And I have had to look at it and I was angry growing up too, but as an adult, I've had to look at it, at the circumstance, and I've had to come with compassion and empathy. Like he's Hugh Jackman is saying that his mom most likely had an undiagnosed illness, like a mental illness, you know, and they didn't look into that in those days. And same with my dad. He has a disease that he's battling, and I have to look at it as an adult and think to myself, you know, that has to be really hard for him. You know, I know he made those choices and yada yada, but I look back with compassion and forgiveness and empathy, and I'm able to have a relationship with him now, versus my brother and my sister. They're not able to have a relationship with him because, you know, it just never happened, and I'm not angry anymore. I look at it with compassion.
But your brother and your sister, it's tougher for them to let that go.
They just have never built that relationship with them, so
do you guys talk about that?
No, not very often.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But your question was, are you able to look back at it and forgive somebody? I have. So yes, I can definitely do that.
All right. You want
to know what? Let me tell you. Had my dad stayed in my life and not I don't want to say abandoned, but not taken off or whatever, I would not be here right now, like with you guys. Like my life would have been a completely different way. And so I'm very happy with how my life turned out. I had a stepfather who raised me, and I would have never had him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Had this other situation happen. So
that's good. It's
I'm
blessing.
very grateful, and I try to look at it as a whole thing and not just like be angry and mad about it.
That's good.
I try to look at it as like a higher way.
That's good.
I'm gonna light that up.
I heard that, Missy.
Yeah,
thank you for breaking that down and being vulnerable, talking about what has happened in your life, and I know there's a lot of other people that are dealing with the same thing. You know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get back into it right now. We're gonna listen to Joel. Everything's cool.
This is it.
Let's hear it.
Yes, indeed, we're back. So we heard a few songs just then. Chris and Missy had a great conversation about. Go ahead, Chris. I think this is your song. You want to talk about it, man. You said you heard it how many times?
Everything's cool, man. I played that thing about 7 times. It's too short.
That's right.
It's too short.
It's too short.
It needs to go a little longer. But
it needs to go a little longer. So everything's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, man. That is the jam. That's my favorite of the day.
Wow.
It needs to be on the top of the rotation list.
Top of the rotation.
This brother is singing. He reminds me of a young Usher Raymond. I mean, even dances.
Now you're talking about Joel. Everything's cool.
That's
a
cool.
Compliment.
That is a mad compliment. So out of all the music reviews today, this was number one.
Number one.
No doubt.
No doubt. Let me tell you, the lyrics, the song, it just matches up perfectly. And I like the music video. He did a really good job on the music video. But, just the first line, he goes, why do I bruise so long? Think about that for a second. People do get bruised. We get bruised on the inside. And he's like being honest about his feelings. Like, man, I bruise forever. Like, to me, that resonates, because I think so many people in society today, especially with this COVID stuff going on, have gotten themselves into a bruised state, and he's acknowledging that. He's asking why am I like this? And the song is it's phenomenal, in my opinion.
I'm gonna just do it, bro. I'm lighting it up for you.
Light it up, bro. Light that one.
Wow. So the whole family, you say you were listening with everybody. They checked it out. Everybody was just like, this is the one.
Everybody lit it up. We all approved.
Everybody lit it up.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
You know, I picked my wife up and we started dancing. She's like, I don't know if I can dance to this song. Let me show you how.
Let me show you how to do it, girl. Okay.
My daughter, she's getting it. You know, she's doing the woogie.
Big props to Joy with Everything's Cool. What about you, Missy?
Well, of course, I'm gonna light it up for this Toronto-based alternative R&B singer.
Oh man. Okay.
See, I was like thinking, it was like on the tip of my tongue too. Like, who does he remind me of? And then as soon as you said Usher, I said, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That we can just do that and start bringing artists in here and just give people that kind of feeling. So you never even heard of this guy before?
No, I've never heard.
Heard of him before. No. And now you're a fan.
My goodness, I think he should be on many radio shows. I mean, honestly, I don't know why he's not on the top 20 billers right now. That's a hot song.
I think you would like listening to his other music because he does a lot of gospel music, and he tries to incorporate that with a lot of what he does in his experimenting in his music.
My man, I'm gonna have to look him up. That sounds like a plan. I didn't know he did gospel.
Exactly.
Cool. That's cool.
That's awesome how you can just kind of flip and just do different styles of music and things like that. That's awesome, man. I just love this whole energy and this feeling to be able to kind of bring artists like that and then, bring them to the world, Yeah.
Junior, how many times have you had something wrong with you, right? It's like you got an attitude, maybe your feelings are hurt for some reason, and your lady comes up to you and says, you all right? And you say, everything's cool. Because you don't want to talk about it.
Wow.
Everything is cool.
A lot of people don't express how everything is cool. They have an issue, but everything is cool.
Everything is cool. So he's saying the same thing Bob Marley did. Everything's gonna be all right.
Everything's gonna be all right. Everything is cool.
I
like that. I like that, Chris. Everything is cool. So I mean, it is a no doubt, no brainer that we're gonna put Joy. Everything is cool in our board for the next 30 days or even longer, depending on how you guys feel about it. If you lighten it up on the app, letting us know that everything is cool, we're going to keep it on there. Keep it on there. So we still got another half hour, a little bit more than a half hour to go. We have some trending topics still. Missy, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, we have tons of trending topics.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, let's hear it. Have you guys heard about this painting the Carters have used in their new Tiffany's ad?
No, I don't know about the painting. I heard there was some controversy about a necklace or something that Beyonce was wearing, but go ahead, break it down.
Yeah, I think that there was kind of like two different controversies. One was the necklace that Beyonce was wearing. I think it's she's like the fourth person that's ever worn it, and it's the first time it's been seen in a long time. And then the painting was done by, he's a very sought after painter, Basquiat, and he the Carters have this painting and they haven't shown it to the world at all, which is, to me, I think it's their prerogative. It's their painting. And they decided to use it for a Tiffany's ad. And the reason that people are getting upset was because people think that they've been hiding this painting and that now all of a sudden they want to show it off in an ad versus just showing it in general.
But I mean, it's their painting.
Their prerogative.
It's their painting. They paid for it. It's theirs. They do whatever they want, right?
Totally.
Right, absolutely. So that's why people are getting upset by it.
People are
hating.
How
you gonna be mad about my stuff?
Right, exactly.
You mad at my stuff? Hey, man. I seen what you was cooking the other day. Now, why didn't you invite me over?
Right.
I know you was cooking that chicken.
Right, and then you're mad because I'm selling the chicken and making money
and
off
you
the
didn't
chicken.
invite me over there.
Right.
That's crazy, man. That is crazy.
And I think I heard that Beyonce was one of the first African Americans to actually wear that.
So I heard that. I heard that.
For the jewelry item, yes.
Man, I tell you what.
What's that? What's it worth? She's one of so many people's got millions. Did we have a price tag of how many millions?
No, I don't.
Does it really matter?
Does
it really matter?
No, I can't believe people are actually being negative about this. I mean, with the high unemployment rate that we have, people seem like they're taking their job as haters very seriously.
You talk about a painting. First of all, these people that are complaining don't even appreciate art.
Right.
They don't go to the museums.
Right.
So the necklace is $30 million, and
oh my goodness,
128
$30 million
carats.
Loose change.
Loose change. Chris has some loose change.
That's loose change.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's crazy.
Good for her, though. Good for her.
Yeah, but yeah, good for her. Good for her. Good for her.
Yeah, so that's they're just getting a lot of people are like, because it's never been seen before, and then a lot of people are saying, well, that's not what the artist would want. The artist would want it to be shown off to everybody. And
that's what it is. Like
that's what it is.
I get it. Okay, that makes sense a little bit. Like let's say because let's say the Mona Lisa, right? Someone was able to purchase the Mona Lisa and they have it in their man cave.
Yes.
So the public is like, wait a second. Who painted the Mona Lisa?
I believe it was.
Was it not Van Gogh? I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. Somebody will look it up.
Was it
Michelangelo?
Was it him?
Da Vinci? We'll figure it out.
Wait.
But one of the great painters painted it, right? And people go.
I've seen it, you guys.
You seen the Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
It's I heard it's very small.
Who painted it?
It's so small. I didn't realize that it was going to be so small. I had to look through like a crowd of like 50 people, but it was very
Leonardo
small.
da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci, he did the Mona Lisa. So I heard it's very, like you said, it's very small. People can take pictures of it, but I think that's what the issue or the uproar is. Like, here's a great painting that it should be on public display.
Yeah, I get that, but it's their prerogative, and
but that is true. It is
we live in America. We still have rights, and I think that people, if they choose to be private with their art collections, I could see on the other hand how if I had this very valuable thing that's art in my house, I wouldn't want people to know about it either.
That's true.
You know, but then again, if I could turn around and actually like rent it out to make money off of that, I'm gonna do that as well too.
I heard that.
Well, and I think that it's because they used it for Tiffany's ad. Like they used it for an advertisement.
Yeah.
Versus their music or just showing it off.
That's what the anger comes from.
So do you feel that was inappropriate, Missy?
Do I feel what?
Do you feel like it was inappropriate for them to hide the painting and only put it out?
No way. That's theirs. No way is it inappropriate. I do not feel like it's inappropriate.
Okay, I agree as well. But we have one more music review that we're going to get into, and do we have some other trending topics? So let us know how you feel about this one. Yes, indeed, that was Going Through the Motion. That was Going Through the Motions. I'm digging it, man. I'm definitely digging it. Before I want to get into that, I want to give a big sincere shout out to Mississippi Gulf Coast and Louisiana with the hurricane that's going on down there. I have a lot of family. They're kind of scurrying around and going to places where they can, alleviate the water and the hurricane. So it's very special to me because that's how I got here, Hurricane Katrina. So I know what it's like. I know how crazy it was. It was definitely a crazy situation for me, but I was talking to my cousin Aaron Dunklin out there and wishing him and his family well. He will be coming out in September for an anniversary to Los Angeles. So hopefully we can have him come out here or meet up and, make it happen. But I want to give a shout out to him and the family. And definitely everyone back at home in the South. Well wishes to you guys. I hope nothing but the best and that this storm can die down so everyone can be okay.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I know this isn't a topic, but natural disasters. Have you ever been in a crazy natural disaster?
Oh, yeah.
That affected you directly?
For sure.
Okay.
Living here in California, you're going to have earthquakes, you're going to have fires, you got droughts, all of the above. So, yeah, no, I lived in Valencia, California. Oh, gosh, maybe 17.
Fires?
Yes. Got routed out of my house, emergency evacuated.
Told you to leave.
Get out.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. So
you didn't want to stay on the house and with the hose and try to save the house. You didn't want to do that?
I sent the women and the kids out, and I stayed there, and I did what I had to do.
Okay,
turned the sprinklers on, and then got the shovel out.
I'm
not scared of fire. I'm actually not fearful.
I mean, you're scared of anything. You arm wrestle, you beat people up on the weekends. You're good.
I mean, I'm missing a cape. I'm just missing.
You're missing your cape.
Yeah.
You're missing
Marvel,
your cape.
call me.
And you're an action country western action star. So yeah, you do a whole lot.
Okay, so let me tell you, if you say country western, you're gonna get your feelings hurt.
Okay, go ahead. Speak on it.
Okay, country western is like southern. Okay, that's like
I got
Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi.
Yeah, country western.
Saying?
So you are
and out here they just say western.
You're just a western.
Western.
Okay, that's the difference.
There's a difference.
Okay,
so I got corrected on that too.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what about you, Missy?
Learning something new. Any natural disasters? I have been very fortunate to not have dealt with any. I mean, other than the pandemic, that's something that we've all dealt with. But other than that, thankfully, no. I'm very lucky to have never been through that, and I'm knocking on wood that I still don't ever.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a terrible situation. It's not good for anybody. So many natural disasters happen. You can't turn on the news without something going down.
Sure.
It's crazy out here. Speaking of newsworthy, the trending topic of Nirvana.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Go ahead and break that down, Missy. Go ahead. That's pretty crazy.
So you guys have seen probably their most famous cover album, Nirvana, of the little baby in the swimming pool. Are you guys familiar with that?
Are you familiar with it, Chris?
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
so you're familiar. Okay.
Yeah, so it was taken probably 25 years ago, and so it's been out in the world for a long, long time, or 30 years, actually. Anyway, so the baby has grown up now. He's 30 years old, and he is suing for the band to using his image. He said, how could I have possibly consented to that? I was 4 months old.
So you suing the band or your mama?
Please pay me $150,000 each. Right, and that's what I thought to myself as well. Like, well, didn't your parents sign off on this? But now in the age that we're in, like we were saying about just people have doing us wrong in the past, he just feels like he was done wrong in the past, and there's no way he could have said yes to that. And he says there's no person in the world that has not seen his body, kind of thing.
All right, okay, Chris, this is a serious topic here. Okay. Chris is cracking up laughing. I guess that's your take. Go ahead, Chris.
Let's hear it.
Speak on it, bro.
First of all, man.
First of all, so there's a second of all.
That's messed up that they threw a little baby into the pool with some dollars like that. Let's just be clear. That's inappropriate. You should not be putting dollars next to a naked baby in his privates route. But let me be honest.
Go ahead.
We all watch National Geographic. Come on, man. We all know what the baby body looks like. We've seen hungry kids in Africa for generations. Man.
Right.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. But I think it's kind of sad that he's going back after all these years and suing and saying that his life was just altered because he was sexually exposed by this band.
Yeah, he said that he's had to go through like years of therapy.
Come on.
And the funny thing is, though, in the past, okay, so now when he's 30, he's doing it. But in the past, like in his 20s and even in his teens, he was repping that band cover. Like he remade it in his 20s even as well. So my thing is, okay, I'm wondering, is this a money grab?
Is it a money grab?
Money grab.
I'm gonna try to be careful in the FCC airways. It's a money grab, but at the end of the day, as an adult, let's say he's been with a lady, she's not gonna be like, "You're the guy from Nirvana."
Right.
She's not gonna say that.
Right.
That's what he's saying is happening.
But that cannot be happening. That cannot be happening.
He's had how many years to deal with this?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. And another thing is, I feel like he does have a point of saying everyone has seen this album cover. It is historic. It's an historic album cover from a historic band. But, I mean, he cannot walk down the street and people say, "You're the baby from the album cover."
Yeah, I don't think he could walk down the street and somebody's going to recognize him.
I don't think he can walk down the street and nobody would recognize him except his family.
I agree.
And maybe it's just a level of vanity that I possess. Maybe that's what it is. But if that were me, I mean, my man got his business all out there. The whole world see it. I'd be like, yeah, that was me.
Chasing a dollar.
Did you see me down there?
It's a tough one because, I'm obviously I'm not an attorney or a judge, but... Right. I mean, does it fit into the pornography situation of what he's suing for is the question that they're going to look at. Is this considered that? Because, there's just, and he's, he's a child, so maybe. You just never know.
Yeah.
Well, it was filed in a federal court in California, so we'll see what happens. We'll see how this
I tell you what, when I seen that album cover for the first time, it kind of... It shocked me. So maybe he does have a case. I remember, oh my gosh, that's the album cover? So he might have a case. A case.
Definitely things that were acceptable 30, 40, 20 years ago.
Sure.
That's why I think things are coming out now, however many years later, because I think we're now, accepting that certain things just were not okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that we've become a little bit more hypersensitive to certain issues, Missy?
Yes. I think that people have been hypersensitive.
Very hypersensitive.
I think that has come along with it as well.
You can't make a mistake in today's day and age. You can't make a mistake. You can't.
Yeah,
and then there's mistakes that are just bigger than others. And you just can never come back from it.
But is that a mistake? I mean, his parents were like, you know what? Hey, look, this is a fantastic.
I mean, they paid him off. Obviously, they paid the family for it.
They made money, right?
They made money,
made money off of that. His diapers were bought with some of those proceeds. I mean, he actually was obviously positioned in a place where his parents said, "Oh, I've got this cute, son.
Yeah.
Let me let's get him on the album cover.
Let's get him on the album cover."
There it is.
It's tough. Some people will agree with him because he is a baby out there publicly without his permission. Being out there,
you don't
like
see
that.
Macaulay Culkin doing that. I mean, come on.
Oh no, you don't see
Macaulay Culkin.
No, you don't see that. You don't see that at all.
I mean, if you talk about anybody who got the short end of the stick, Macaulay got the short end of the stick.
Yeah, he did. He did. He got the short end of the stick. He definitely did. So, we're going to get into some more music. We're going to have a legal play and then listen to Genevieve Baby Powder. She is our artist of the week right
Genevieve.
now. So tune in. We still got some trending topics that we want to get into.
Yes, we do.
Obviously, the FDA has approved the Pfizer vaccine.
That's a big one this week.
That's a big one. Something about the FDA that people may not recognize is that they don't approve everything. You got to send it in, and they're going to either deny you or approve you. So so we got our guy Chris right here. He's making a smirk right now. I'm thinking where he is on the side of the fence, but. COVID-19, we want people to get vaccinated. And in my opinion, I would like people to get vaccinated, in my opinion. Chris, how do you feel about the FDA approving Pfizer and vaccinations for people?
I think that pharmaceutical companies have a lot of influence. They have a tremendous amount of power. And typically, when you look at a vaccine in the past, it's taken 5 years of human trials. 5 years. 5. That's the number. This has been rushed, in my opinion. Operation Warp Speed was what the Trump administration put into play.
Right.
Biden picked it up, and I think that it's a personal choice. Your body, your choice. I don't believe that this should be mandated by any means whatsoever. We have freedoms in this country that other countries don't have. So I'm sorry if you're not an American.
Right.
You don't live in America. And you know what? I'm not gonna sway a person to the left or to the right of this. I'll just say, for me in my house,
we will serve the Lord.
We're gonna serve the Lord. It's too soon. I think that after about 5 years, you're gonna start to see some side effects, and I don't anticipate any good news from that.
So Chris says that he believes that it takes up to 5 years for the FDA to typically approve.
Correct.
He also says that he believes that there are going to be some side effects to the vaccinations as well. And, my counter to that would be the FDA received 360,000 pages of data. I want to repeat that one more time. The FDA received 360,000 pages of data that showed the vaccinations are healthy for the most part. And when I say most part, nothing is 100%. Most part being around 91% of people that are taking vaccinations are doing well. They're not in the hospitals. And if you look at what's going on right now, he does have a good point saying the 5 years, because there's people that are on the fence 5 years. But my question to you would be, name the virus that the entire world was focused on at one time to cure. Please name that virus.
So if we talk about the Black Plague, we can talk about polio, we can talk about chickenpox.
So polio, every country in the same time, we were all shut down as a country.
Well, I think that, with the world being connected as it is today, we have a global economy. So we can't compare the 1900s to where we're at in 2021. Okay. We have to really see, okay, well, we're flying around, we're boating around, we're taking trains, we're interconnected like never before.
Right.
All right. So now, what is a
but so you don't have a
but a vaccine is supposed to prevent you from contracting that said virus. This one, you're still going to get, you still have a chance of actually contracting the variant, the Delta variant, the COVID virus, even if you are vaccinated. So we're actually seeing the lack of effectiveness with this virus. And I'm saying that the side effects of this particular COVID vaccine They don't weigh out for me. The cure is worse than the plague. My mother just caught COVID, and she calls me up. She says, "Oh no, I've got COVID," and she's obviously older. And I said, "Okay, well, keep me posted. Let me hear what your doctor." The doctor didn't even prescribe any medication. She made it through unscathed. She had a little fever. She was tired. So I'm saying, okay, so the human immune system is underrated. I don't understand how people just forget about the immune system. Taking vitamin C, getting your D vitamins in, making sure you're exercising, your sleep patterns are normal. Giving your body the chance to buffer this virus, just like every other virus, I think is important.
Do you believe there have been healthy people that have died from this virus?
Yes.
Okay. I think that answers the question right there. When you have healthy people that can die from this virus, it's sort of like my fingerprint. I have this fingerprint cannot be shared with anybody else. I'm the only one that has this fingerprint. So the virus affecting each individual person affects them individually, just like my fingerprint. We can't compare what happens to your mother to what happened to my cousin who just died. I would believe this was last year, right when it happened. Now, was he healthy when I seen him last? Very healthy, but he died. But something that you have to say that's important. I don't think what Chris is saying is wrong, because you can still get vaccinated and catch the virus. Yes, you can. But will I be on a ventilator and will I be fighting for my life is the question. That's the big question, because out of everybody that has taken this vaccination, and this is when we were at 168 million people vaccinated, we've had 8,054 people hospitalized or died after taking the vaccination. Those people that have died had obesity, chronic kidney, heart disease, asthma, or cancer. So when you're looking at what's happening with this virus and the people that are in the hospitals right now, they're filled with people that are unvaccinated, not filled with people that have been vaccinated. There may be a breakthrough case here or there, as in someone is wearing a seatbelt and still dying from wearing a seatbelt. But at the end of the day, why are all the hospitals filled with people that are unvaccinated?
Well, I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment.
So that means it's a conspiracy for all of the hospitals in the nation to be on the same.
I have information on certain healthcare data.
But we're talking about that's
world. Coming straight from the CDC. So I mean, you can talk about the World Health Organization if you trust their data, but I'm talking about the CDC's information. So right now we see, if you go to their website, you'll see a whole list of exemptions where people have medical issues that they're recommending you not take that. And you just listed several of those. And first of all, let me just say I'm so sorry to hear about your loss of your family member. And I know I can feel it in your tone. I can feel the
yeah, because I mean, for me personally, it's a no-brainer for me. Because you were vaccinated to go to school, mandatory. Missy was vaccinated to go to school in America, mandatory. Unless you were at home and you were homeschool.
Those are
private
different
school.
vaccines. This is called an mRNA vaccine, which means this has been created to actually go inside of your body, creating spike proteins that don't stop making spike proteins. So they actually can't prevent you from actually contracting the virus. But what they do is they 95% alleviate your symptoms. So you still have the virus inside of you, as you mentioned. At least you're not going to be on a ventilator, et cetera. And man,
so you're not against vaccines, because we have tetanus, we have the flu, we have hepatitis A, we have hepatitis B. You're against this vaccine.
I'm against this experimental
because
vaccine.
You believe that even with the 360,000 pages of data and the whole world focusing on one specific thing that we needed,
you can't read 360,000 pieces of data. You can't read it. Nobody's reading
yes,
that.
I can't read 360,000 people of data.
You have to have artificial intelligence to do that.
But the FCC, it's not one person reading the data. It's not
CDC.
It's CDC. It's not just one scientist sending in information. This is scientists from all over.
But there are many virologists right now who are coming together, and they're saying that, wait a minute, this is not good. Actually, there's a bill right now.
There's who?
There's many virologists who are coming out saying that the vaccine is actually harmful.
Many or the majority?
I would say many, not the majority.
I say the majority of doctors are saying get vaccinated.
But that's okay.
The majority.
That's okay. I mean, and that's why I said it comes down to personal choice.
Yes,
right? If
does.
you feel that is going to keep you safe, by all means, inject yourself.
Yes.
Get yourself jabbed up.
Yes, I did. I got jabbed up when I went to first grade, and I got jabbed up.
But that was a different vaccine, though.
But it was still approved, was it not?
Was your vaccine approved?
Was the
yes,
vaccination
and it went through a
that I
5-year
got,
trial, not like this one.
Was it approved by the FDA?
It was.
Okay, so I'm still taking an approval FDA vaccine.
Okay, but that's kind of like
I don't understand. What I don't understand is if the FDA is approving this vaccine, if they're approving
have
for
they
the
ever
mumps,
have
for
they ever
hip,
been
for
wrong?
measles,
have they ever been wrong?
Has the FDA been wrong about what
they've approved and what? Yeah, have they ever
no,
been
give
wrong?
me the vaccine that they were wrong.
Well, I'm just curious.
Well,
Have they ever approved something that ended up having?
Let's talk about vaccine.
Having
what
detrimental
vaccine,
side effects.
What vaccine did they approve that they had to then not approve?
So my question is, have they ever been wrong?
About a vaccine?
Have they ever been wrong, period?
We're talking about vaccines.
I'm talking about their decision-making factor. Have they ever been wrong? Have they ever missed the boat?
I don't believe they've ever been wrong about a vaccine that they've approved.
All the time.
About a vaccine, I don't think they've ever taken one down.
Why would they rush past their own standard of 5 years? Why would they rush past that? Let me tell you why I think it is.
Because we were in a pandemic and we've never had this situation before.
So you said we've never had this situation before. We've never had this vaccine before. And yet we're okay with rushing the science.
No, I don't.
I'm not okay with
I
that.
truly don't believe it was rushed. I don't believe it was rushed.
When the operation is warp
because
speed,
the entire
speed.
global science community was on the same page.
Well, I don't always agree with the global science community.
You know what
Go ahead,
I
Missy.
would like to say? What I would like to say about this. I'm not going to say my stance on it either way because it's so controversial. And I don't even tell people in my own life, in my own family, because that's my own decision.
Right.
And I don't think it's like anybody's business to what my medical stuff is. So, I mean, that's my privacy. I don't tell anybody anything. But I will have to say that I do think that since it's FDA approved, that it on the side of people wanting other people to get vaccinated, that I do think that this step of the vaccine getting approved by the FDA will convince people who are on the ledge to not get it. I do think
why do you think something? Missy, may I ask you a question? Why do you think the people that were on the ledge after the FDA has approved it, why do you think it gives them comfort?
I just think it gives something. It gives it more credibility. And it gives it something to, but I mean, I'm with Chris on that exact point that there has been many things that the FDA has approved that they have backed off and said, never mind, we don't approve this anymore. I don't have the specifics.
Yeah, we'll probably bring that specific up. I'm talking specifically vaccines. That's what I'm talking about.
But
I'm not.
But I mean, it doesn't matter. You can make a mistake either way, whether it's a vaccine or not a vaccine. But I'm saying that they have gone wrong before, so I do understand but I do think that it still gives people like something to grasp onto if they were having doubts. It's something concrete that they can
so even if they're wrong,
hold on to.
even if they've been wrong, it still gives them credibility.
Well, let me ask you this. Junior.
I'm just
you
a little
have
hung
a
up
car.
on
You have a car, right?
Right.
Okay, so if I'm selling oil and I say, "Hey, Junior, I got this new oil, this synthetic oil. I just made it, man. And let me tell you something. This thing's gonna make your engines run smooth. You're gonna have more miles than."
And you have a history of being in this business.
No, I've never.
Oh,
made
okay.
this.
You don't have no history.
Then
I can't. It's not
like
credible.
Pfizer, like AstraZeneca. We're all starting brand new. Okay, no, wait. Now wait.
Yeah,
I got this. Oh, I want you to put it in. Now hold on. Now there's some side effects. Now hold on. It may cause a little leakage. You may have a combustion. Hold on. You may be driving.
Okay.
And you'll throw a rod, and you may
you.
get into a car accident
I'm
with
with
this.
you.
But listen, bro, it's free. Right now, I haven't worked all the kinks out on it right now, but I'm telling you right now, this oil is gonna make your Go ahead and would you put that in your car?
Based off of everything that you said, I would not put it in my car if you don't have any credibility.
But it's me. It's me. It's me. I'm like the government right now. You trust me. I've never been wrong, right? According to you, I've never been wrong. Are you going to put the oil in your car? It's experimental, baby. I'm telling you up front.
I probably won't. I'm
not putting the shot in me either.
I will have to say there's been the it wasn't FDA approved when people have been getting it for the past how many months. So
Right.
this is, I don't think that the argument is you're saying is that it's FDA approved, but it hasn't been FDA approved for this long. It's barely gotten FDA approved for that to be like a backing point.
Yeah, I mean, there's vitamins that are not FDA approved and people still take them. So that's not the issue. People are going to put into their body whatever they want to put. My thing is like the FDA, in my opinion, is more of a gold standard about the public health and you can take it. That's the only thing I'm saying. And for them to say that, and because Missy said it herself, it gives credibility. So, I don't think she would have attached credibility to the FDA if they were not a credible. You see what I'm saying?
I do, but it's kind of like somebody who's dating. It's kind of like you dating, right? You got an organization that says, okay, well, listen, I'm not going to marry anybody until I date them for 5 years, okay? I'm not marrying anybody
I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, they're like, wait, but this one girl right here.
So let me ask you this.
2 years in, I'm going to pop the question. It's okay. No.
So let me ask you this question, because we're past 12 o'clock, but we can do whatever we want to do here. Okay. We're an independent station. We can keep it going. It's not a problem. Okay. My thing is, do you feel that because it was so pushed so fast that this is the reason why people do not want to get vaccinated?
It's one of the reasons.
It's one of the reasons. Okay.
Yes.
Is it a big reason?
That's a huge reason.
But
that's a huge reason.
That's what I'm saying. I want to understand a side that feels that way. So you saying it's a huge reason. So
it's a huge reason.
So you need 3 more years before you're comfortable.
I need at the very minimum. Yes.
Okay. Minimum. Even with 170 million people that have taken it with less than 0.005 people.
If everybody turns out okay, in 5 to 6 years we'll revisit the topic.
Okay. Yeah. So, but that's 170 million people. 170. That's still not a large enough sample size for you.
Well, no, it's not. No.
Okay, so
no,
it's about what? I'm not even sure.
It's not about the size. It's about the length of time.
The length of time.
Yeah,
okay.
You need it. It's time. Look, if I bake a cake, there's a certain amount of time that.
Okay, so
now if I take it out early, I can still eat the cake, but it's not.
How
great,
many years should I expect to have side effects from this?
Let me ask you this: who's going to pay? Let's say you take an injection, right, and you get sick. Yeah. Like a lot of people are getting sick right now.
For sure.
So they have swelling of the heart, swelling of the brain, fluid around the heart, fluid around the brain.
Yeah.
Okay. So who can you seek for monetary reconciliation for that? There's nobody you're able to sue. You can't sue Pfizer.
Yeah.
You can't sue the government. And so you're laid up in the hospital accumulating all this debt. You can't go to work. You can't make money from your job.
You're saying if they had side effects that contributed to the vaccine.
There's no coverage for you.
I see what you're saying.
There's absolutely no accountability. So these companies who are saying, I'm going to mandate my employees. Well, how can you mandate your employee to go get this vaccine, but you're not willing to step up and take care of the potential medical bills that they have or any type of compensation?
That's a very good point.
So there's all types of issues that I have with that.
Yeah, I get it. And you do have some valid points. Like, it hasn't been a long time that it's been out there. Companies telling people not to take. In my point of view, if you're a business and this is how I want to conduct my business, you can go work somewhere else. Sure. That's how I feel. You don't have to work here. You can work somewhere else. Because I can let you go. I can let you go anytime I want to. I can't remember what it's called in California.
At will employment.
At will. So at will, and you're in California, that shouldn't even be an issue. It sucks, but that's just how it is.
That's
I can
like
let you go whenever I want.
I mean, if you think about the Holocaust, right? They put a little star on the Jews. They say, okay, well, we know who you are. Yeah. Right. Well, you can't work here because you've got that star on and you're a Jew. Right. And to me, I feel it's the same thing with the vaccine.
I just think it's discrimination. If it's not it's not the business's what am I trying to say? Like it's employees' privacy. It's their medical history. It's not the. Does companies ask for my polio vaccine? Do they ask for my other vaccines? They don't.
That's a good point.
I just think that it's like.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, I don't like that, but.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, but it's mostly for government jobs, though, right?
Now. At the moment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. At the moment, like if I work at KFC and I don't have, am I going to be? Are they going to force me to be vaccinated?
Probably.
I mean, it's an honest question. I really don't know.
I really think in the next year, I do. I think.
You think
that I do absolutely.
Yeah, you're starting to see.
Because I believe the CDC said they needed around 70% of people to be vaccinated. Before we can get this thing under control. 70%. We don't even need the whole population, but 70%.
What do you think about the whole religious exemption? I mean, people who don't want to take it because they feel like their bodies are a temple, and that putting something inside of their bodies would. I
believe that the government does protect people that have religious beliefs. I mean, they do.
So we're seeing companies that say we're not accepting religious exemptions. There's companies out there who are doing that. In fact, there's a Supreme Court case right now.
I think it's when we say companies. Are we talking government companies or non-government companies?
Private sector.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. In a private sector, I can hire you and fire you whenever I want to. I do not. In my opinion, if I can let you go whenever I want, you can't even, because you can claim discrimination all the time. Well, he let me go because it's my company.
But
if I don't want you to work here, and this is the
right,
guidelines of me working here, you got to take some jobs. You have to take a drug test to work here. Now, I'm telling you right now, in your free time, you cannot smoke marijuana and still work here. You know how many people still smoke marijuana and work at the jobs? But for my company guidelines, you cannot do this. You cannot have it in your system.
You're talking recreational.
Now, people are not suing the company saying, hey, man, I want to work here and I have the right to smoke if I want to and still be employed here. You cannot. Because I'm at will. You don't have to be here. That's why I see it's not discrimination.
What I'm saying, though, about the religious convictions, I mean, you can't force a Muslim to eat pork.
No, I agree with that.
And therefore, if you have a Christian who's saying, I don't want that in my body because of my body's a temple, it's the same thing as what the Muslim is saying.
I agree with what Missy said. She has some great opinions about her vaccinations being on public display and, my HIPAA privacy, right? Why do you need to know what's going on in my HIPAA privacy? And I think that's very valid. That's a very good point. But for in the private sector, I do not agree with it. If you're a government official, whatever they say, that's what they want to do.
Well, the private sector still is underneath the Constitution.
You still have to go by laws in the private sector.
Is the government at will? Is government at will?
You're still governed by the national law.
No, but what I'm saying is
the national law trumps the state law.
I don't know if the government is at will.
But that's what I'm saying. There's a difference. If the government is not at will, because you got to go through so many procedures to get hired and so many procedures to get fired. When I used to work at UPS, I couldn't even get let go because I was with Teamsters, and it took forever for them to get me off the books.
Even if you're still in a private sector, you still have to abide by the laws.
Yep.
By the anti-discrimination laws and everything. So okay, you have a private company, and then you hire somebody who has a disability, whatever that may be. You cannot fire them at will because of their disability is hindering their performance or whatever. Like that, It doesn't matter. You cannot do that.
Yeah, but I think what you're saying, the example of having a disability and being fired, why are you being fired for having a disability? Are you just not a good worker that has a disability? My question is why would they just let you go?
Whatever reason, you could still it just comes along the lines of you cannot fire somebody because they didn't have the COVID vaccine. That's their own medical thing. You cannot fire somebody if they have a disability. It falls under the same guidelines to me.
Yeah. And I think we differ because in the state of California, the guidelines are different. At will, I can fire whenever I want to. And that's why it's so hard to sue companies. In California, it's at will. It's not. I'm not making it up. It's at will.
No, you're right. It is at will, but you still have to abide by laws. It doesn't mean you could still fire somebody whenever you want.
Yeah, but what's the law? The law is what?
The Constitution of the United States of America.
Of what?
So here
anti-discrimination. You can't buy it on age, on sex, on ethnicity, on profession, on clothing, on medical.
Do we have a private sector job that has people being forced to be vaccinated?
Yes.
What are the
Those
jobs?
Are typically healthcare agencies.
What company is it?
I'm not going to call them out.
Oh, you're not going to call out the companies?
I'm not going to call out the companies.
Okay, so we have private companies forcing people to be vaccinated.
Correct.
Okay. Now, I don't know of any at this point. I know government, sure, but in California, I don't know of any.
And to be honest, even looking at employment opportunities right now, I am seeing a lot of in the description must be vaccinated, and that is not their business.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But to me, it goes along the lines of it's not your business if you smoke weed or not. But they don't want you to do it. It's like they're telling you cannot have marijuana in your body and be here. Is that discrimination to what you want to do?
You're talking about a vaccine versus marijuana.
No, I'm talking about. I'm talking about the.
That's completely two different things.
I'm mandating what the company wants as their organization of what you can and cannot have to work here. That's what I'm saying. So you cannot have.
Well, that's.
It goes the same way. You cannot have.
So you look at the laws of the land, right?
Yeah.
And the land that we're in has state laws, and the state laws are governed by federal laws.
Right.
All right. So if the law of the land that's state law says that marijuana is legal, like here in California,
right?
And they're saying we're not gonna have that as a issue. But if you move somewhere like Philadelphia or one of these states that have not legalized marijuana, they're still abiding by federal mandates. Okay. So when we look at the vaccine protocols, like Missy's talking about, it violates so many civil rights, in my opinion, constitutional rights, that it's not fair. I think that the big government is actually forcing private sector companies to capitulate to what their wants and desires are.
Well, and then what are the private sector companies gonna be basing their stuff off? The government. So they're saying that these.
Yeah, I'm reading. It says Walmart,
do.
Google are among companies rolling out COVID vaccine requirements for employees.
There you go.
And I think what they're going to hang their hat on is saying we are at will, and at will we can do what we want if you want to work here or not. I think that's going to have them win a lawsuit. No matter how you feel about it, because it will be landmark. If that person comes in and wins a lawsuit saying you cannot force me to be vaccinated, well, that's a landmark case.
I think you're going to see a lot of cases like that.
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for that to happen.
There's cases it's already out there. It's already out there.
See a lot of cases.
But are they going to win?
Well,
no, they're not going to win because the big government is the one saying that this is what we have to do.
That's what I'm saying. So you might.
Where are they gonna base their what
you got
they
it,
have
Missy.
to do off of the big government?
Missy just said it right there. So the huss and fuss, it don't even make any sense because the government ain't gonna do it. But anyway, we're gonna wrap it up, man. We had a crazy show today.
Yes, we did.
Crazy show. But we want to get back into some music for you guys, and we will see you next Saturday. Hey, it's COVID is a serious issue. We got to talk about it. So, hey, we'll see you next Saturday. Thank you, Missy,
right.
Francois in the back,
guys.
and thank you, Chris Clay Jones, for joining the show. See you guys.
As always.
See you guys. All right.